Hello, and welcome back to Hardcore Strategy on They Bleed Pixels. We will be tackling the final chapter of the second dream, which is a little bit more unusual than the others. Now, as you can see right here, your platform is a little odd. Basically, the whole platforming through this level is trees and lanterns. Sometimes the lanterns have spikes on them, sometimes they're slick, sometimes you can't grab onto them at all, sometimes they're hollow, and sometimes they have a little mystery hidden deep inside. For this room, you're going to be going up above the knife fence and jumping on this little ledge. As you can see, they can follow you pretty much any direction, and if you jump above them and dash down, much like that, you can get in one fell swoop quickly. Now for this part, I just had to kite the guy around so I can make a checkpoint in the appropriate way. It doesn't matter. As long as you can sort of collect one blood pellet or two and kill all those imps, you can get a decent checkpoint. And for right here, I just wanted to kill that bomb before making it so I could have a guaranteed sort of spot to go in. Now for this part, you just kick that guy and get a checkpoint past here is pretty straightforward. You just want to like trigger all these imps, knock over that sloth guy, and at that point you'll pretty much have a guarantee. However, of course, if you miss the lantern, you can die. Because this is, like most of the levels, if you fall below these sort of areas, you will land into a pit of spikes or impalers, which is not a pretty sight for you. Now, right here, this is one of the main methods of traversing. If you want to get around something that large and wide, you should try to find another lantern that's hidden up in the corner. However, it is a smaller space, so you will have to be a little bit quicker in reaction time, as you don't have a whole lot of time to stay on the wall. Now, this part with the knife imps, I get hit a little bit, as you can see right there. They can sort of jump up, and for these particular ones, this is where you learn that you can duck below them by pretty much holding the down arrow and jump. They'll press you down below the area. And there's just that one knife imp there you don't have to worry too much about as long as you can spot where he is going to attack. Now, this part is a little tricky, and it also introduces a new enemy type. Now at this point the game has introduced all of its characters. This is the Wraith. It can go through pretty much anything, and it's sort of like a boo. It will follow you every time you're not looking at it. However, once you do attack it or go near it, it will attack you, and once you attack it, it will not stop following you even when you're looking at it. So if you are going to attack those things, you want to make sure you have a long enough sort of corridor ground to attack them, otherwise they'll pretty much follow you and block your path. However, they are not as annoying as the squishy things, as they do have a larger hitbox. Now for this part, of course, you can either go down below, traverse the saw blades, or traverse these small lanterns, where you can kick these sloth things into the saw blades or spike it below, giving you a decent amount of blood badges. And this right here, of course, is the example of how the saw blades can randomly juggle you in any direction. If it had, it probably could have sort of bounced me down and forth and I would have died there. However, I did not die, and okay. For this part, you want to make sure to just hold and kick those guys up in the air, as you don't have enough room to do an air juggle, but you do get enough points when you just sort of kick them in there. You don't have a whole lot of room, so make sure you have plenty of space to jump. Now for this part, you can do it in two different ways. You can kick those guys into the pit of spikes if you want to, give them points, and you can like kill that guy there. Or you can do what I normally do, and that is kick them in the air, stab them, and then you'll get more points out of that. Sometimes you can even, if you're lucky, you can kick these guys high enough to launch them into the saw blades if you hold your direction arrows while stabbing. Now, of course, here's a specified area in which to fight this little wraith thing in. It makes it a little bit easier as well when you have a longer terrain. But enough of that. This part is a little difficult to get into sometimes. It shows an example of the dangers of walking around on slick surfaces. You cannot place a checkpoint there, you just cannot, and you will want to place one as soon as you kill this guy or the next one. It becomes a little bit trickier in where you want to decide to make these checkpoints at. So basically you can either kick these guys or stab them or whatnot, but regardless of what you do, there are enough lying around to kill them. And right here you can see another wraith waiting in the darkness. Basically, when you hear them, they will be aggroed on you instantly. You cannot run away from them. No matter how far away you get, they will always follow you. So you want to make sure you can get onto this upper platform right here. Give it enough space, so if you dash past them, you will be able to bounce back very quickly. and you are going to want to stay right here because this is probably one of the most difficult parts of the level, in which you are constantly going around this sort of area. And if you do not jump past her, of course, the right way, you will hit the spikes and sometimes may even die pretty quickly. Not by the race alone, as there are many that will spawn here if you do not traverse these lantern areas carefully. You do want to stay up as high as you can most of the time. It does make it easier to cross, because if you go down low, you sort of run out of space and you sort of aggro more of those wraiths. And this right here is just a little gimmicky example for you to earn some more blood points. However, it also shows an example of how these things can aggro you instantly. If they get sort of hit in the shockwave of the bomb or not killed, they will instantly aggro you regardless of where you are and where they are. So it's something to watch out for. Now this little area is just something they put in to have an arena of sorts. But as you can see, the arrow right here, it tells you go down. Instead of making the checkpoint here, you simply dash right down past those blood pellets and you can make your checkpoint right there. Now, for this part, it'd probably be easiest if you just try to do this as quickly as possible without drawing the race more closer to you, because each lever pretty much activates another one of these things. So you always want to make sure they have the right area thought out. And if you do decide to kill those guys, you want to make sure the top door is open last. That way you won't accidentally fall into the pit at any point. And as you can see right here, of course, it is just a giant lantern that holds the book, and if you lost, they'll just, you know, be annoying. But that's all for this level, and for that dream. So, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and with that, I will see you all next time.